Hi guys, this is Andrew with rockclass101.com, and in this week's ukulele lesson, we're going to be learning one of my favorite Christmas songs, We Three Kings. So what's really cool about this arrangement is that it's got something for everyone. So the song starts out rather simple and progressively gets harder. So it's going to be applicable to the beginner player, the intermediate, and the advanced player. Now with that said, I've got this lesson split up into two parts. So this lesson is part one, and in part one we're going to be learning the first half of the tune. So if you guys want to learn the second half of the tune, we're going to be covering that in the part two lesson at rockclass101.com. So you guys can click this link right here. That'll take you directly to the lesson, or you can go to the site and do a search for We Three Kings. There you're also going to be able to find the complete tabs that you can print off and follow along with, as well as access the on-screen tab viewer. Now this is a really cool feature where you can hit play, watch the tab scroll across in real time. You can highlight bars to loop sections, slow it down to any speed you wish. Just a really cool asset in learning this song that much easier. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into this lesson. So we're going to kick off with an intro. Now the intro is the main melody that everyone knows and loves, and it's played rather simplistic, so we're really going to be highlighting the melody predominantly and not doing anything fancy at all. So this is definitely very beginner friendly. Now, one thing I want to point out is that this song is in 3, so we want to keep it in mind that we're counting 1, 2, 3, next measure 1, 2, 3, next measure 1, 2, 3, and so forth. But then again, we all know this melody, so a lot of us will just play by ear. Bum, ba, da, 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 da. But it's always good to think of the rhythmic value of the tune as well. So we're going to be highlighting that in this lesson too. So let me go ahead and play the first part, and then we're going to break it down. So here's what it sounds like. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening. Now our first chord is basically a variation on that staircase E minor. So it's the one we all know and love. The only difference is that we're getting rid of the middle finger. So I want you guys to take your ring finger, put it on the 4th fret of string 3, and your index finger on the 2nd fret of string 1. Now we're predominantly going to be targeting our attack, our strum from the 3rd string down, but it's okay if you hit all 4 strings with the open G. So in essence, you could play 0, 4, 0, 2. So our very first hit, we can use our thumb to strum down, or you can pluck it. So it's really up to you guys, whatever you think is more comfortable for you, or whatever you think sounds better. So I'll leave it up to you guys for how you want to attack this chord. So there's pluck or strum. You can hear the strum has a bit of a softer tone. So we can go ahead and just strum 3 down, and then we're going to lift our index finger up and play the open A. So in essence, we want to be hitting on beat 1 and 3. So if I was to count it out, I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I have 1, 2, 3. Strum, 2, pluck. Right, so we three kings. You can also think of the song, right? If you can sing it, you can play it. Da da dum ba da 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 dum. Okay, so let's go ahead and play that one again. So bar 1, 1, 2, 3. Strum, 2, pluck. Awesome. So our next hit, we're going to take that middle finger and put it on that 3rd fret of string 2. Okay, so we're highlighting an E minor chord. So again, just think of it like you're playing out of that staircase shape. This time, we're adding the middle finger, and we're not using the index. So a bit of a flip-flop from the first chord. So again, all you're going to do is you're going to add that middle finger to the 3rd fret of string 2, and you're going to pluck string 3 and 2 together. So for plucking these two, you can use either your index and your middle finger. That's probably what people are going to be most comfortable with. Or for myself, I like to use my middle and my ring finger. So either or. And again, if you want to play this entire tune simplified, you can always use your thumb for everything. So if you are a very, very beginner, that will help you focus a little bit more on what we're doing with the left hand, because there are some harder chord shapes that you may not be used to. So again, let's go ahead and play just bar 2. We have the same rhythm, so it's just 1, 2, 3. So we're hitting on beat 1 and beat 3. So we're plucking strings 3 and 2, and then we're going to lift the middle finger up and play the open E on beat 3. So same rhythm. So again, we have 1, 2, 3. Pluck, 2, 3. So if I put bars 1 and 2 together, it sounds like this. I have 1, 2, 3. Strum, 2, 3. Pluck, 2, 3. So let's try you and I, but a bit slower. 1, 2, 3. Strum, 2, 3. Pluck, 2, 3. Okay, so from here we're going to B7. So the transition that we want to do is we want to take that ring finger, drop it down a half step. So it's going to go to the 3rd fret of string 3. From there, we're forming a G chord, but it's up a string. So you can see your basic G chord. We're going to be forming everything up a string, directly up. So our index finger is on the 2nd fret of string 4. Our ring finger is on that 3rd fret of string 3 where we just left it, and the middle finger is on the 2nd fret of string 2. It's a real cool sounding chord. So this one we can either strum or pluck, it's up to you guys. If you pluck it, you can use these 3 fingers, thumb, index, middle. And then from here, we have a syncopated hit. So this rhythm is different. So it's a little bit more challenging. So we're gonna pluck on beat 1, 1, 2, and then the end of 2, we're gonna take that pinky, we're gonna put it on the 3rd fret of string 2, play that note, lift the pinky up, play string 2 again, so it's just that middle finger. So in essence, you're hitting on beat 1, you're hitting on the end of 2, and you're hitting on 3. So it sounds like this: 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3. So you got a quick hits, right? 1, 2, and 3. So real slow. 1, 2, and 3. It's a little challenging, but again, if you think of it as the melody, da, da, dum, ba, dum, ba, da, you already know it. So let's try this bar together. By myself first, it's just, and with you and I, we have 1, 2, 3. Pluck, 2, and 3. Pluck, 2, and 3. Pluck, 2, and 3. So a little slower. 1, 2, 3. Pluck, 2, and 3. Pluck, 2, and 3. So you've got a little pinky action going on. Generally, our pinky is our weakest finger, so we want to work on it. We want to strengthen it and make it even to the other fingers. All right, so let's go ahead and just try the very last 4th bar, and that'll finish up this first phrase. So here's what this last bar will sound like. All we're going to do is we're going to lift up our index and middle finger from this B7, and we're going to move that ring finger back up a half step. So it goes to the 4th fret of string 3. You're going to pluck that note plus the open E together. So string 3 and 2 together. So a good thing way that you want to practice this transition from this E minor that we had to the B7, you can see that all you're doing is that ring finger shifts down and the other 2 fingers come down. It forms that G chord, just up a string. And then when you go to the 4th bar, you lift those fingers up and move it up a half step, and you can go back and forth. So it's a great way to practice. And you can always put it into a time frame. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it'll give you a great way to form that muscle memory. So if I put these first 4 bars together, we've got the first phrase. We have, let's try you and I. So we have 1, 2, slow. 1, 2, 3, pluck. 2, 3, pluck. 2, and 3, pluck. 2, 3. Let's try a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3. Strum, 2, pluck, pluck. 2, pluck, pluck. 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Pluck. 2, and 3. 1, 2. And one more time slow. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. So what happens after this is it actually just repeats. So you're playing the same thing, identical 2 times in a row. So let's give that a shot. We'll try it at this speed. 1, 2, 3. Bum, ba, dum, ba, dum, ba, da, dum. So here we go. 1, 2, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2. Again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. So the same thing 2 times in a row. So that means we're 8 bars into it. So our next half of this melody sounds like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and break that down. So you can see it starts out, again, out of that E minor. So just think of that staircase as our bass shape. This time around, we don't need that index finger. So we're going to be strumming from 4 to 2. And then we're going to be hitting string 2 again. But it's got that same rhythm where we're hitting on 1 and 3. So we have strum 3. And if I count out that rhythm, I have 1, 2, 3. Strum 2, pluck. Okay, so again, we're strumming 4 to 2, and then playing string 2 by itself. So again, let's try you and I. 1, 2, 3. Strum 2, pluck. Okay, from there, we're going to a D chord. So this time, our D is going to be a little bit simpler than what you probably play. We're just going to be doing 2 fingers instead of the normal 3. So we're going to take our index, put it on the 2nd fret of string 3, and the middle finger on the 2nd fret of string 2, and the A string will be open. So our strum is going to be targeted from 3 down. We've got the same rhythm where we're going to strum on beat 1, and then play a single note on beat 3, and that single note is the open A. So let's see if we can try that together. So we've got 1, 2, 3, strum 2, A. Okay? So if we put those 2 bars together, we have strum 4 to 2, pluck string 2, strum 3 to 1, pluck string 1. So let's give it a shot with the timing. We've got 1, 2, 3, strum 2, pluck, strum 2, pluck. Great. Now let's try it one more time, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3. Strum 2, pluck, strum 2, pluck. Okay, so from here, we're going to a regular G chord. So your transition is very simple. All you want to do is drop that middle finger down to the 1st string, 2nd fret, and then add that ring finger to the 3rd fret of string 2. And we've got a basic G. And we've got the same rhythm where we have a hit on 1, and then pluck a single note on beat 3. And that single note is the 1st string again. So we have strum, pluck. So guys, in essence, we're doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the same rhythm, just a different chord each time. So you do want to work on that transition. So the key with moving from one chord to the next is to try and do it as efficient as possible. So the trick with these is that when you switch from the 1st chord, E minor, to the D, you want to try and switch where all fingers move at the same time. So a lot of times I see beginners do something like this, right? Or ba, 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 one finger at a time. So when you're transitioning, you want to try and move in unison. So again, you can practice your chord transitions like we did earlier, where you put it to a beat. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can see each finger moves at the same time. So that's the key. So let's see if we can try those 3 bars together. 1, 2, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so our next bar is going to be this cool little slide lick. Sounds like this. So very simple slide lick with a walk down. Now with slides, you want to keep in mind that you have to keep the pressure down. So when you're sliding up, you need to keep that force down with that finger the entire time you're sliding. So we're going to use our pinky finger. So it's going to help strengthen that pinky. And you want to keep that pressure down. So you're going to slide from 3 to 5 on the A string. Then you're going to walk backwards, use your middle finger to play the 3rd fret, and then your index finger to play the 2nd fret. So our timing is just going to be 1, 2, 3. Okay, so remember we're finishing up from the G, going into the slide. 1, 2, 3, slide, 3, 2. Okay, so let's see if we can take it from the G and add that slide. 1, 2, 3. Strum, 2, pluck, slide, 3, 2. Okay, so you may want to hit pause and just work on that if you're new to slides. So that gives us the next 4-bar phrase, right? So we've started on the E minor, to the D, to the G, to the slide lick. So let's give those 4 bars a shot, and then we'll look at the last 2 bars of the tune, or this melody. So it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3. Strum, 2, pluck, strum, 2, pluck, strum, 2, pluck, slide, 3, 2. Okay, now our last couple bars will sound like this. So you can hear we've got that same little syncopated hit. So it's kicking off with an A minor. We're going to use our index finger. So we put that index on the 2nd fret of string 4. You're going to strum all 4 strings. And then we're going to be using our middle finger to play the melody note. Now the melody note is on the 1st string. So it's the 2nd fret to the open A. So the key with this one again is that timing. We have strum, and then hitting on the end of 2 and beat 3. 1, 2, and 3. So it's got that syncopated rhythm. So a little tricky. 1, 2, and 3. So let's try real slow. 1, 2, 3. Strum, 2, and 3. Okay, so you're going to keep this index finger planted, and we're going to go to this B7 with a sharp 5 in there. So it's an altered dominant chord. So we're keeping the index finger on the 2nd fret of string 4, add your ring finger to the 3rd fret of string 3, and your pinky directly under it, so it's the 3rd fret of string 2. You're going to strum 4 to 2. Now for this bar, we're going to start a little retardando, so we're going to start to slow down, and then the last note is going to be lifting the pinky up, using your middle finger to play the 2nd fret of string 2. So you can see it's that B7 shape we covered earlier, which is also literally the G chord moved up. So you're going to be hanging on that 2nd fret of string 2, putting a fermata on that note before we kick into a vamp section with a boosted tempo. So in essence, you're strumming the sharp 5 chord 4 to 2, and then lifting the pinky up, using the middle finger to play the 2nd fret of string 2, hanging on that note. So again, we want to slow down with a little retard, put a fermata on the last note, and hold it out until we go to the next section, which has a boosted tempo. So if I play this last section, I've got... And you can hear how I kind of slow down a little bit and then hang on that last note. So that gives us a nice way to transition to the next part. So let's do this. Let's cover the 2nd half of this melody. So we're going to be starting on bar 9 of this tune, and we're going to be going all the way to the ending. So it's 6 bars in length. So I'll play it once and then we'll try you and I. Okay, so let's give it a shot, and a bit slower than that. So we have, starting on that E minor, 1, 2, 3, strum, 2, pluck, D, 2, pluck, G, 2, pluck, slide, 3, 2, A minor, 1, 2, and 3, 7, sharp 5, to the last note. Let's try it again without me calling everything, just counting. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3. So So remember, start to slow on that last bar and hold this second note out for as long as you wish before we kick to the next part. So if we put all that together, guys, we've got the entire melody or the entire intro down. So it sounds like this. Now this next part is actually really cool because we're going to be doing a vamp on an E minor chord. Now vamp just means that we're just going to be playing out of that one chord. So we've got a 4-bar vamp on E minor, but the way we're playing it makes it really interesting. So we're boosting our tempo up by about like 20-25 beats per minute. And remember, if you are a beginner player, then don't worry about speeding up the tempo, but this next section is a lot of fun because it's a challenging finger picking. So in reality, when we kick into melody A after the vamp, it's taking the base of everything that we've played and just making it more filled in the sound, making it a little bit more filled out, making it a little bit more complicated, but keeping the melody as a focal point. So here's what the vamp sounds like. Alright, so that's what we get with our vamp. So let's go ahead and break down what's happening. Now it's actually easier than it sounds. So in essence, all we're doing is we're playing out of an E minor. We're going to take that ring finger, put it on the 4th fret of string 3, and we're going to be plucking strings 3 and the open E together. So you got pluck on string 3 and 2. Then we got our little finger picking lick after that. That finger picking lick is going to be string 3, string 2, string 4, string 1. Now our rhythm is 1, 2, and 3 end. So we've got pluck, 2 and 3 and pluck, 2 and 3 and pluck, 2 and 3 end. So you can hear that this vamp, the first 3 bars are identical. It's the same thing over and over again. Now with my right hand, I'm using a 3-finger picking approach. So I'm using my thumb to play strings 4 and string 3, my middle finger for string 2, and my ring finger for string 1, although most people probably use these 3 with a 3-finger approach, where the thumb gets string 4 and 3, index gets string 2, and middle gets string 1. So if you're new to understanding which finger picking approach is best to use, dependent on the context of the material you're playing, if a thumb approach or a 3-finger approach or a 4-finger approach is best, then definitely check out our finger picking concepts course. So it's really important that we get that rhythm locked in. So again, take that ring finger, just put on the 4th fret of string 3, you're plucking that plus the open E, and then we've got 3, 2, 4, 1. So again, our rhythm 1, 2, and 3 end. So let's give it a shot. We're going to loop it 3 times in a row. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and. Okay, so one more time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and. So that's our first 3 bars. Now on bar 4, we've got a cool little pull-off lick. And it sets us up to go back into the beginning of the vamp. So this one is going to be all 8th notes. So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and. So you're going to take that middle finger, put it on the 2nd fret of string 1. We're going to do a pull off to the 1st fret. And then we're going to pull off again to the open A. So we've got 2, 1, open. Then we're going to hit string 4, then string 2, and finish up on the 3rd fret of string 3. Okay, so again we have 2, 1, 0, 4, 2, 3 on 3. And then it's just going to restart. So that's probably the one that's going to be the trickiest. So you just want to loop that and practice it. So from here, you're just going to go back into it, and you're going to do the same 3 bars again, where it's pluck, 2 and 3 and pluck, 2 and 3 and pluck, 2 and 3 and. Then for the last bar, you're doing, and you're cutting out the last note. So you're just going to let the open E ring for a quarter. That's going to buy you enough time to jump into melody A. So you have 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, so if we try that vamp together both times through, let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3. Pluck, 2 and 3 and pluck, 2 and 3 and pluck, 2 and 3 and 2, 1, 0, 0, 0, 3, pluck, 2 and 3 and pluck, 2 and 3 and pluck, 2 and 3 and 2, 1, 0, 0, 0. So you see, it'll give you enough time to get into that first melody. So really cool little vamp. And again, the speed is the hardest part to work on, so start slow and then gradually increase your speed once you get the clarity down. So let's take a look at our melody A. Now keep in mind that it builds upon what we did for the intro. So it's the same melody, but we're just making it a little bit more fulfilled or fooled out, or filled out, that's the word, filled out in the sound. So here's what it sounds like. So there's the first 4 bars throughout it. And again, the tempo is quicker. So we jumped up the tempo beginning in the vamp. So again, if you are a beginner, don't worry about speeding it up. Just focus on getting the timing down and the clarity of each note. So we're kicking off this with that same chord from the beginning, so that E5. So it's that E minor without the middle finger. We can target our strum from the 3rd string down, although again, it's fine to hit the 4th string open. So up to you guys. There's our first bar. So we're going to be strumming 3 down, and then we're going to be finishing it up with the rhythm of 2 and 3. So for this, we've got strum 3 down, then we're going to play string 3, string 2, and then string 1 open. So remember, got to lift that index finger up for the last note. So strum 2 and 3. So again, I have strum 3, 2, open A. So 1, 2, and 3. Let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3. Strum 2 and 3. Okay. Now our next bar, remember our middle finger comes down for that 3rd fret of string 2. We're going to strum 4 to 2. This time we have all quarter notes. So we've got strum 4 to 2, play string 3, play string 2 open. So 1, 2, 3. So again, I have strum 3, 2. All quarter notes. 1, 2, 3. So let's give it a shot. 1, 2, go. Strum 2, 3. Okay. If we put the first and second bar together, we have 1, 2, go. Strum 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'll play it by myself, and then we'll try it again together. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and you and I, 1, 2, 3. Okay, from here we're back to the B7 chord. So remember, the easy transition is just to take that ring finger, go down a half step to the 3rd fret of string 3, then add the other 2 fingers. Remember, it's that G chord moved up. So for this time around, our rhythm is going to be 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to start with that strum, 4 to 2. Then we're going to be playing string 3. Add your pinky to the 3rd fret of string 2. Play that note. Lift the pinky up. Play the 2nd fret of string 2. So our rhythm is 1, 2, and 3. So strum 3, 2, 2. So that pinky is doing a lot of work right here. So again, strum 3, 3, 2. So strum ba-da-dum. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so let's give it a shot. You and I are slow. 1, 2, 3. Strum 2 and 3. Strum 2 and 3. Strum 2 down up. Strum 2 down up. And then after that, we're going back to our E minor. And as you hear, it's the same as the vamp, where you're plucking 4 and 2. And then doing that little finger picking lick, which was 3, 2, 4, 1. So same rhythm, 1, 2, and 3, end. Okay, so we know that one. So let's try the first 4 bars together. So I'll play it by myself first. You get the context of the sound. Okay, you and nice, slow. 1, 2, go. Strum 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3. Strum 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3, and awesome. Now let's look at the next part. So as we saw in the intro, the next 4 bars are identical. So we're playing the same thing twice in a row. So that makes it really, really easy. So we're 8 bars into melody A. So let's look at bar 9, 10, 11, and 12. Let me go ahead and play it and then we'll break it down. Alright, so that's what it sounds like. So this one has a little tricky chord transition going from E minor to D. So let's start off with the first bar. So E minor is just the same staircase. Remember, we don't need the index finger. We're going to strum 4 to 2. This time around we have 1, 2, and 3 as our rhythm. So we have strum 4 to 2, then play string 3, string 2, open G. So our rhythm again is 1, 2, and 3. Strum 3, 2, 4. 1, 2, and 3. Now the hard part is going to the D chord. We're doing the full D chord shape. So instead of what we normally would do, which is these fingers or perhaps these fingers to make the full D, we have to move at a quick tempo. And the easiest way to move at a quick tempo is to jam our fingers in. So what you're going to do is you're going from E minor, you're going to drop that middle finger to the 2nd fret and your ring finger to the 2nd fret. So you can see how my ring's on top, so it's string 3, fret 2. My middle finger's underneath, it's string 2, fret 2 as well. Then we're going to cram that index finger up to string 4, fret 2. So you can see 2, 2, 2, 0, we've got the basic D major, not minor. And it's just going to be awkward because we're using index, ring, middle. So the reason we're doing that is because it's so quick of a tempo. So you can see how easy that transition is if I just cram all those fingers in there. And then when I go to the next chord, take a look. The next chord is a G. So you're literally just dropping. So that's an easy change. So that's one benefit. So again, we have strum 3, 2, 4, cram all those fingers in to make it a D, strum 4 to 1, same rhythm, but this time around we're going to play string 3, string 1, string 4. So 1, 2, and 3. If I call string names, I have strum 3, 1, 4. Okay, so let's try that transition slow. E minor, 1, 2, go. Strum 3, 2, 4, strum 3, 1, 4. Okay, from here drop to basic G, strum 3, 1, 4. So same rhythm, 1, 2, and 3. Again, strum 3, 1, 4. And then back to our little slide lick. Same stuff as before, slide 3, 2. So nothing new happens there. So let's give those 4 bars a shot. 1, 2, 3. Strum 3, 2, 4, strum 3, 1, 4, strum 3, 1, 4, slide 3, 2. Okay, that was all quarter notes on that last bar. From here, we're going back to the A minor. So let's take a listen to how those last couple bars sound, and I will break it down after that. Okay, so that's what we get. So kicking off with A minor, remember it's the index finger on the 2nd fret of string 4. This time around we're going to be adding a extra note. So we're going to be playing the open E, and then the middle finger playing the 2nd fret of string 1, and the open A. So 1, 2, and 3. Strum 2 and 3. Again, strum 2 and 3. So strum, open E, 2nd fret of string 1, open A. 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going back to the sharp 5. So again, 2, 3, 3, strum, play string 3, and then get rid of the pinky, add the middle finger to make it a basic B7, and that will finish up this melody. So we have strum 3, 2, so all quarter notes on the last one. 1, 2, 3. So let's try those last two bars together. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Strum 2, 3. So one more time slow. 1, 2, 3. Strum 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. After this, you're going back to the vamp and you're going to redo everything up until you get to the bar 31. So let me show you. When you get done with this, twice on the vamp. And then when you get to there, instead of going to, you're going to be playing a variation up here. And that variation is where we're going to be starting off our part 2 video lesson. So before we get to that and wrapping up this video, let's go ahead and just cover everything that we've done for the A melody. So we're going to try and start from the melody A. So we're going to skip the vamp. We're going to start from, and you and I are going to try and play together. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. And 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. And 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Slide. 3, 2. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Awesome, and I totally skipped a couple notes, but that's okay. So you guys get the gist of it. But that's everything for our A melody. So really, in essence, we took the basic melody and we just made it more filled sounding. So that's a lot of fun. So this tune has just such a great melody, and it's, like I said, it's really great for the beginner and the intermediate and the advanced player because it's got something for everyone in it. So if you guys want to learn the second half, we're going to be covering that in the part 2 video lesson at rockclass101.com. So you guys can click this link right here, just do a search on the site for We Three Kings. And again, if you want to get the tabs, all of that's going to be on that page, as well as access to the on-screen tab viewer. So I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson, and I will see you in part 2. Thanks.